guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about 5 books with strong female leads. I loved each and every one of these books, so I'm really excited to talk about them. Let's get into it. The first one I want to start off with They Never Learn, written by Lane Fargo. And this book is about a college professor who is rapists on campus. What better start for a story than this? I heard about that synopsis and I thought to myself, I need to read this ASAP. I actually got my local book club to read that with me. This was one of the book club meetings where so many women showed up because they all loved the book. I think there was not one single one who didn't like it at all. There was some that thought it was okay, but most of them loved it, me included. It is a strong story. There are some twists that are pretty much foreseeable, but it doesn't take away from the greatness of the whole book. It's a great story. I wish there would be a person like this in real life. So if you're looking to read a book about, just a professor killing bad guys on campus, then this is the book for you. I truly enjoyed it. I also like the humor in there and sarcasm. So that's always like dark humor. That's right up my alley. So I really enjoyed it. Next book on the list is Blood Sugar by Sasha Rothschild. And okay, so someone told me that this is like a thriller kind of book, but I actually ended up laughing so much. Like, this is such a fun, dark humor at its best read. I really enjoyed it. I did the audiobook. The narration also was on point. Great job to the person who read it. And it is a very unique story. So Ruby is accused of 4 murders, but she actually only committed 3. But she's being blamed for the 4th one. And this whole book is a look back to her life when all these murders happened. And let me tell you, it's not what it seems like. And the things that happened and that she faces, that she does, it's amazing. Like, I love this story. As I said, it's different than anything I ever read before. I highly recommend this book, especially if you also enjoy like dark humor and dry sarcasm, like snarky comments, and it's just the funniest thing. I can't even explain. You have to read it, then you'll know what I mean. I did pull up my post from my Instagram just to check, because I remember there was one quote or one part that I loved, absolutely loved. And it was when she were at the vet with one of her animals, and the vet talked about animal abuse, or the vet said, I could just kill these people, and Ruby thinking to herself, I could too if given the chance. I really enjoyed the Ruby character so much. This is a kick-ass, badass character that I really, really, really fell in love with. This is truly amazing. I gave the book 5 stars. It was one of my, I'm pretty sure it will be in my top 5 this year. Let's see. The year's not over yet, so let's see. The next book on my list is Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessie Q. Sutanto, which is also the same author who wrote Dial A for Aunties. That's still on my TBR. But after reading this one, I fell in love with the writing style, and I'm pretty sure I'm also gonna pick up Dial A for Aunties pretty soon, because I hope that author is amazing when it comes to all their books. So this one is not what I would usually pick up. Like, I saw it at a store, at a Barnes & Nobles, and I also saw it advertised on Instagram. I thought, well, maybe give it a try. There was no wait on Libby for the audiobook, so I decided, why not give it a try? Wow. I absolutely enjoy books that I usually wouldn't have thought that I would like them, and then I end up loving them. This is another one of my 5-star reads this year because it has everything that you would want in a novel. It's funny, it's heartfelt, it's deep, it has some twists to it. It's a really sweet story. Vera Wong is also a kick-ass character. Like, this lady might be old, but woo, she's not too with. A little bit about the book. So Vera Wong has her little tea shop in Chinatown in San Francisco, I believe. And one day there is a dead guy in her store. And before the police arrives, she actually ends up taking something from the scene that she thinks is important. The police just brushes it off at, well, just he died by accident or he had a heart attack, or it's nothing. But she is convinced that this is a murder. So she is taking things into her own hands and is trying to investigate this. And the people that she's meeting on this journey, like, it gets crazy. And throughout this whole book, she is hilarious. It's another one of these people that you can't help but fall in love with. Like, I love Vera Wong. If there would be a sequel to this, I would definitely read it, because this book had me crying at the end. I tell you, I really love this. I can highly recommend it. And also the audiobook was perfect, so go get it. Next off, we have a book of one of my favorite authors. I said that in my very first video that I will be talking about her more. Taylor Jenkins Reid. She wrote this book, Carrie Soto is Back. For anyone who has read TJR's book Malibu Rising, this is one of the characters that has like a tiny part in that book, but this book is all about her. I love when Taylor Jenkins Reid does this. Like, whenever you read one of her books, you will come across characters that will show up in other books. Like in Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, you read about Daisy Jones and the Six. In Daisy Jones and the Six, you will read about Mick Weaver, and then Malibu Rising is about Mick Weaver's kids, and then you have Carrie Soto showing up, and now Carrie Soto has a book. So it's awesome. I love that she does that. And even though nobody, I guess, liked Carrie Soto in Malibu Rising because her role was so small and like reviewed in a very bad light, you don't really rally for her, you don't like her. But after reading this book, I think she is one of my favorite characters. She is definitely a kick-ass, badass female lead. She's definitely a loner. She is stubborn. She knows what she wants and she's going for it. This book is about her goal that she wants to keep her #1 spot, basically, in the tennis universe, whatever you want to call it. And for one last time, she's going to a competition where she is giving everything she got to keep her world record going. And her dad is her trainer, and it's about their relationship and then her life, her career, and how far she will go to keep her record. So I definitely enjoyed this book. Many people said that it was too much tennis, or they didn't really care for the sport at all. I didn't think it was an issue. I still enjoyed it. I learned a thing or two about tennis that I didn't know before. But this is definitely also a book that had me in tears. Every single one of TJR's books has me in tears, and this was no different. It was amazing. Whenever a book does that, I love it. Last but not least, Confessions by Kanae Minato. I picked this book up right after I read They Never Learn because I enjoyed They Never Learn so much, and I wanted to find something that is similar. It is not a long book, but I also decided to listen to the audio version. This book is about a teacher who thinks or accuses two of her students to have killed her young daughter. And she is getting revenge. And when I tell you that first chapter had me shook, I'm getting goosebumps again. I don't know if you can see it. I'm getting goosebumps again. That first chapter had me in a chokehold. Like it was wild. Also, what I want to let you know beforehand, this doesn't read like a regular book, like a regular novel. Each chapter is basically told or written from different people. And it's not like it's not in the third person. It's not like, oh, she's walking down and then she's doing this. No, every chapter is from a character's perspective, and they are talking to someone. So the first chapter is the teacher just talking to her students. Just talking to students, and it's so weird. You have to get used to it. I was hoping this is how the whole book would be, that the whole book was just her talking to students, but there later, like, people read letters, or there's an article, or I don't remember how the rest goes, but it's always one person talking to someone. So it is super interesting, very interesting concept, very unique. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and the ending is everything. So if you have a couple hours to spare, I highly recommend to get the audiobook and just listen to it. And it, as I said, the first chapter and the ending, amazing. Of course, the whole book is awesome, and there are parts in between where I'm also like, what? But yeah, I think my favorite parts about this book were the first chapter and the ending. So, all right, guys. So these were 5 books with strong female leads that I absolutely love. Please let me know in the comments if you decide to read any of them. Please let me know if I should add any other books to this list. If you think I forgot any book, or if I haven't read a book with a strong female character. I'm always interested in that kind of genre because I just love it. So, all right. See you next week. Bye.